I'm Sarah, mom of Grant Woodward. He is 14 and he is diagnosed with classical autism and global developmental delays. It was one of probably the worst days of my life, but yet one of the best days. We finally had a reason as to why Grant wasn't talking and his other developmental delays. Actually, when it was a group, like a committee of people that assessed Grant, and then we broke for lunch, and then when we reconvened directly after lunch, that was when they sat down with us and said, "Your child has full-blown classical autism." And my husband and I just looked at each other like, okay. And we were shocked, and they said, "Is that not what you wanted to hear today?" And I just wanted to slap him. It was awful. And I looked back at my husband and I could just see him mentally turn off. He wasn't paying any more attention, and the compassion wasn't there, the empathy wasn't there. They just went straight into talking to us about how we need to focus on respite care and how he'll need to be institutionalized. And it was a shock to our system. And then when they start talking about all that, it just, it was heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. Our worries were, how are we going to pay for this? Honestly, the financial implications associated with it, and how to get services, how to start this process. I guess in that early phase, we were just very shocked. We were trying to absorb as much information as possible and then figure out who would take care of our kids should something happen to us. Because, it's not just like a typical child. You have to worry about, can they handle his meltdowns? Can they handle all of the other aspects of autism that go inside with it? So it was a lot of worry, a lot of worry as to what the future would hold. When Grant was diagnosed, my husband and I actually had a heart-to-heart conversation about, we had read a statistic saying that 80% of all families wind up in divorce, those who have special needs children, and we did not want to be one of those statistics. So we sat down and kind of ironed out how we needed to revamp our relationship, how we needed to figure out how we were going to communicate and those types of things. And so honestly, he and I just relied on each other. It was a huge growing experience for both of us. Granted, when he was diagnosed, I was 28, so I still did the whole, I'm mad at you, I'm a powder, I'm not going to say anything, and then 6 months later explode. And so I knew I had to change that for myself. And he also, well, I told him, he had to change how he would talk to me. We had to be very open, very direct with our conversations. And it was very uncomfortable for the first couple of years saying, if I was upset or hurt by something he had said, to say so in the moment. Every day is a new day with him. It's so fun to wake up in the morning, and he's always a happy kid. Well, I shouldn't say always. Usually a very happy guy in the morning, and he most recently he's become super proud of himself because we had a really, really hard school year so far. In the last week, he's actually had great, fantastic days, and his teacher will leave me a note in a notebook to tell me how his day has been. And when he knows he's had a good day, he gets it out of his backpack and he sets it on the counter and hounds you until you read and offer him that positive reinforcement and praise. And it's fantastic. It's so much fun to see him being proud of himself and knowing that he did a good thing. Document everything, every doctor's visit, every therapy visit, every phone call, who you're talking to, what time, what day, and keep a little note or comment about what the conversation was about. And I would also tell them that they really need to connect with another parent who might just be beginning her journey, might be, years into it, but having that resource, that support is huge. That it will get worse before it gets better.
Take all the time you need.
That you can do it. And even when it seems impossible, there's always tomorrow. There's always a silver lining in everything.